Hello again, everyone. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, we're going to take a look at the S&P 500 today and a couple of the key indicators and look at one of the stocks that we look at here, Moderna, MRNA ticker symbol. I got asked by one of the members to analyze that, so I'll share that with you today. And I call this video Buckle Up because if you thought that June 11th, when the market was down, I think it was over 1,800 Dow points, something like that. If you thought that was intense, get ready, because I think we're in for some pretty rough rides coming up here pretty soon, very soon, actually. All right, so if just before we get into the detail, I just want to pass this on. If you'd like to have more of this kind of information on a regular basis, check out the membership. Head on over to joehenches.net, check out the website, and check out the membership. All right, let's get into what we're talking about here. On Friday, the S&P 500 was down 17.60, kind of a bearish looking type candle. A couple of things jump out at me, okay? So we're closing back below that blue line, which is my 10-day exponential moving average. Also, the trend line up from that March low, you know, we broke that on June 11th. Then what have we done? We pulled back up to it, and then kind of started to pull away. Then on Friday, just kind of maybe that last kiss goodbye right up underneath that trend line. And then we closed down. The interesting thing about Friday, and it doesn't look very dramatic in this view, you'll see a different view in a minute. At one point at the beginning of the day, it was up 40 S&P points, and it ended up down 17.60 for the day. Now for the week, you know, we got a little more of a bounce. We got up 56.43 for the week. Now, I talked about a lot of the bearish candles that we had for the week before last, okay? And just because we got this little bounce in here and a little bit of a pullback doesn't really, in my mind, negate the very bearish type view of what happened the previous week. So we'll see what kind of continuation we get right now. And I tell you what, the way we ended the week and on Friday sure looks fairly negative to me. Now, before I dive in and take a look at the hourly charts, I want to share something with you with the way, again, the way the market closed in here. I'm going to show the futures charts. Okay, so this is the EMini futures. So you can see Thursday, the market closed right in here, and then it just continued to basically rally all night during the Globex session, overnight Thursday night, and then we open up big right here Friday morning, and that was it. And then they just sold it off all day Friday. Got a little bit of a snapback here. And where did it close? Right here. Right here, 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. The E-mini closed at 3084.85. What happened in the next 15 minutes? It dropped another 20 points. And then they sold it off another 7 in the half hour between 3:30 and 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time when the futures stopped trading for the day and for the week. Down another 27 points on the S&P 500 after the stock market closed for trading on Friday. So that doesn't look or seem very positive to me. So we'll see what happens Sunday night and into Monday morning. Let's take a look at the 65-minute chart here. One of the things that, well, I'll tell you what, I want to get rid of. I've got 3 different moving averages on here. I've got the 55-day simple, the 21-day simple, and the 10-day exponential. So other than the 10-day, I lean on Fibonacci numbers and relationships for the moving averages in here. That's what 55 is. It's very close to the 50 that a lot of people use. And the 21, of course, is very close to the 20 that a lot of people use. And then I've got the 10 exponential. So I'm going to get rid of this for a minute because I just want to show you what's happening in here. The 10 is crossing below the 21, very close to the way it did back up here at the high on June 10th. Also, look at this beautiful little head and shoulders pattern that we had here on the hourly chart with this island that formed in here on the SPX. Okay, and so now we're rolling over. We got the moving averages crossing to the downside here. Now, it's happened before. I know you can always find a point where it may have happened, and that's why we're a little cautious. We're looking at several things in here, not just this happening, and then we're looking at the closes that we're getting below that 10-day moving average and what's happening, how's the RSI looking, etc. A lot of things. But right now, this is looking very weak to me. Okay, I'm going to put that moving average back on, and now I'm going to look at the Elliott Wave picture in here, and there's the daily view of the Elliott Wave picture. Let's go to the 65-minute view. So coming off this high that occurred here on June 8th, here's that big move June 11th, okay, when the Thursday after the Fed meeting closed, right? We sold off. We believe we have 5 waves down for a first wave. 5 waves indicate the direction of the next trend. Okay, so that's what's going on here. And then we got this zigzag pullback for wave 2 on the first hour of the day on Friday. We did punch to just a slightly higher high than on the 16th. And so right now, this is the way it looks. And then now the way it's rolling over, coming back down, the way we're getting the closes below the 10, the way it continued to sell off in the futures in the aftermarket. And yes, I know that I know that Friday was quadruple witching day, where the futures and options on futures and everything expire. I understand that. But we still had a very, very negative close. All right, we'll take a look at the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average. What is happening with them? Big move down here, just like what happened on June 11th. Big move down 7.72, closing at 77.23. Back below that 80% level, getting out of this severely overbought. Actually, we were extremely overbought, up above 90. We even had that 10-day moving average up above 90 for a few days, and that doesn't happen very often. And it's interesting that when you talk about the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average, it's kind of it's a breath measure, what's happening with it. Something else that's going on is to look at the high lows on the New York Stock Exchange. So what's going on with that? Okay, so let me pull up this little data box so you can see what I'm talking about here. Well, clearly this reading right here, 328, that occurred on January 17th, okay, as we were approaching all-time highs. Then we go to the all-time highs up in here. Did we go higher on this? No. And what are we looking at? This is a net between stocks, and on any given day, what's the number of stocks hitting their 52-week high minus the number of stocks hitting their 52-week lows, trying to show the strength in the market. Okay, so then you go to February 11th. Do we go higher? No, it closed at 296, a lower peak. We get this huge collapse. Then we come back, and here's what's been happening with this huge rally that we've had, and how we've gotten higher, and we've retraced, significant portion of the market. The highest peak that we've got here is 68.71 was the high here on June 3rd, and back over actually maybe the 19th. No, that's 70. So we haven't been able to get above 71 in this whole push that we've had here with the market in the last couple of weeks, right up into here. Am I on the, let me go back to the daily, right here. Okay, so this whole push, the most we've been able to get is 71 new net highs. Okay, that is not, in my opinion, showing a whole lot of strength in this move in this market. All right, so that's the picture there. Let's take a look at Moderna. Okay, here's all the data I've got on Moderna, and this is a weekly view right now. So here's the low back in August of 2019, and then the most recent highs. If we kind of start in here, and I'm going to put some data in here. Starting from the low, it looks to me like we're, this is the wave count. I'm doing intermediate for now, intermediate 1, 2. Looks like to me we're in intermediate wave 3, and I don't believe, let me get rid of this. I don't know why I did that. I don't believe we're complete, okay? So let me give a little bit more detail, and then I'm going to drill into the daily view. And so what I think is happening in here is that we've had minor wave 1 up, minor wave 2 is kind of a sideways, very choppy, complex view. And then we just smashed out to the upside in late February and had a pretty significant pullback in here. But the way this moved out was clearly the start of wave 3, the way it exploded and started going vertical. Boy, I started losing my voice there. A little frog got in there. All right, so now let me put a little more detail in here. Here's what's going on. Minute wave 1, minute wave 2, and yeah, I drilled in and took a really close look at the data in here, and this is my best take on this. There was kind of a complex wave 2, and then we got this really strong push for wave 3, a sharp wave 4 pullback. I like the way that alternated between these two waves. And now if I project out, where do I think is what's happening in here? I think we've got this 5th wave to complete minor 3. Then we're going to get a pullback. It'll pull back into this area here. And then we've got one more to complete intermediate. So there's definitely, I believe, a lot more upside in here. It gets more upside in here. I'm looking for this to continue pushing, and I would expect to see 5 waves in here to complete minute wave 5 and minor 3 of intermediate wave 3. All right, that's my best take at this moment. All right, if you felt like that video was helpful, hit the thumbs up. If you are not a subscriber to the channel, hit the subscriber button. And again, head on over to joehenches.net, check out the website and the membership. All right, everyone, have a great weekend and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there around the globe. Hope you have a great one. We'll talk to you on the next video.